Previously on Chop Cut Rebuild.
The object for the shoot this time was a 3-day plan on the car.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Dan. How you doing?
Good.
And really revolved around getting the back end of the car up and then doing the front end, terminating with the roof.
Today's mission with the Camaro was to get as many body panels fit on the car as possible.
The components that we used today from Auto Metal Direct to build the front end on the car were the left and right fender, the inner fenders, the header, the valence, and the hood hinges.
So is that the factory system?
Yes, sir. That's the factory system right there.
Okay, so that's out and gone.
Yep, torn apart.
After reusing that stock head pipe, what we did was we mocked up the Gibson muffler and held it up there to make sure everything else fit.
Held in place as we start a hectic pace on another Chop Cut Rebuild.
This is Chop Cut Rebuild. Real cars. Real techs. Real deadlines. Hosted by Dan Woods. Chop Cut Rebuild.
In the final few days of a build, it's critical that there's a symbiotic relationship between trim and upholstery and audio. They have to be on the same page, they have to be working towards the same goals, and if they can be in the same shop, that's even a bigger help.
My name is Keith Miller. I'm a trim and upholstery instructor at Wyotech in Blairsville.
How's it going, Keith?
Good, Dan. How are you?
Good. So this is upholstery stuff.
Yep.
This is Nick's audio stuff.
Yes, sir.
You got to make sure you don't make holes too big for that.
Right.
And you got to make sure he doesn't install something that you need to have removed so you can put wiring behind it, right?
Exactly.
So let me see how deep you are into it here.
My name is Nick Coughlin. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. I graduated in 2006 from Wyotech Blairsville from automotive technology with high performance and chassis fab.
So this is your squirrel's nest.
Yes, sir.
Wow, Rockford Fosgate sure came to the party, didn't they?
They sure did, and check this out.
Okay, so you're not just doing audio, you're doing anything that's electronics.
Anything 12-volt related.
It's really expanded sort of what the audio guy, stereotype is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Get that stereotype. Okay, let's go see what Keith's doing. Al?
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good.
Want to introduce Jim Morgan to you?
Hey, Jim, how are
Jim's
you?
a former student. He's going to be helping us put the shag carpeting in.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So you're doing upholstery and interior work
Yes, sir.
professionally now?
Yes, sir. I now work at Lyman's Interiors here in Delmont.
Oh, really?
Yes,
In
sir.
Delmont. Everybody knows Delmont.
Everybody goes to Delmont's.
All right. So what are we doing now?
We're going to lay the carpeting out, get a measurement for the floor, get the pieces cut, and get it measured up.
You have a measuring tape.
I do. Today, our biggest objective was to try to get as much done on the inside of the vehicle as possible. We picked the shag carpeting up at a local box store, and we were fortunate that they had that in that particular color. It was a black and silver combination, went perfectly with our interior colors.
Anytime you're doing carpet or something where you're covering it, you should always cut it a little bit bigger, and then whenever you do put it in, you can just trim it down to size compared to if you try to cut it to size in the beginning. Then if it's not quite right, you're going to end up short and have to redo it and waste all that material.
12 years ago, we restored the original Supervan by George Barris. The most expensive component back then was the shag. Thankfully, shag is making a comeback, so the cost has dropped dramatically. My installation skills have also improved, which cuts cost a great deal too.
Right now, I'm getting a little stressed out. We only have like 2 weeks to go. Still a lot of things that need to be done on the inside. A lot of the big stuff's done, but now we're working on a lot of the details. I brought Mikey Brown in for the week. He's going to help me out this week to try to get a lot of it done.
Mikey!
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Good, you're back.
Yes, sir.
My name is Mikey Brown. I'm the owner and operator of Mikey's Custom Upholstery in Deputy, Indiana. Today I'm working on the trim pieces for the factory door panels in the van. It kind of makes it a two-tone.
Can I help you with anything?
You can file this if you want to.
Alphabetically?
Metal file would be wonderful.
Metal file. You want just the burrs off?
Yes, please.
All right, that's easy to do.
A 5-person team working on our Ford Transit project will move this interior along very fast. Keith brought in veteran hands to work quickly, and while there may not be a firm design on paper, it's like an all-star game. There's set plays everyone knows.
The stereo system going in the van is it's pretty elaborate. There's a lot of speakers involved. A lot of speaker pods had to be made. Mounting brackets had to be made. We had to make a box in the back for all the amps that were going in it. Plus, we were backlighting the amps also.
We're using a 1/0 gauge wire, which is so thick because we're running 3 amplifiers off of it, so we want to make sure there's no current restrictions and nothing that's going to create a dangerous situation for us. I designed the audio setup with Rockford Fosgate and Harry to find the best solution that would work for this project for SEMA.
So what is this you're doing with your phone? Is this affecting the lights?
Yep, I'm trying to set up a color theme for the van. The lighting that was donated by XK Glow is full LED that has a cooler runtime. You can actually control all the RGB spectrum of lighting that gives you any kind of color you want to deal with.
Really? So I could scan like the stripes on the side?
Absolutely.
So if I hold that there?
Generally like the phone app that allows you to control the lights because you can make it do whatever you want it to do and scan colors and make it whatever you want it to be.
So anything you point this at, that red cable.
Anything you want it to be.
The silver van. Wow, that is very cool. My face, kind of white.
Seems kind of bland.
The old saying, cooks don't clean, is pretty accurate. And man, do these guys know how to cook.
Sitting in the back of a customized van sure brings back memories, like to a time when I used to have hair.
You're watching Chop Cut Rebuild. It never fails. As deadlines get closer, teams begin to expand their rosters. Playoff time is getting close, so you have to be prepared for injuries, even paper cuts.
Oh, what is this? We can't send a car out the door without the Hopkins brothers.
How you doing, Dan?
How are you, Popeye?
I'm back.
Yeah, how are you?
Morning, Dan. I'm well. I'm Craig Hopkins. I own the AMD Installation Center.
So what are we going to do? We got to get suspension. This thing's going to go on the ground, right?
So suspension is going to roll today. It's banner day.
Out the door.
Out the door. You want to see the suspension? It's
Yeah.
all done. They did a great job. Right over here.
Okay. They've really done a nice job. Morning, guys. So everything new looks old again.
Everything all looks new again.
Oh, okay, all right. So
Thanks to Mr. Coates. That thing it looks just like the factory assembly.
is this a brand new K member?
No, it's actually an original K member.
Oh, okay.
My name is Ted Stevens. I run Stevens Performance in Alabama.
All right, well, this goes in first?
Control arms go in first, and then this goes in.
Okay, let's get it over there.
When Dan got here this morning, we had the suspension system laid out, the front K member assembly and the rear axle assembly ready to go up under the car. Assembly of the front end went pretty well. We had one torsion bar, kind of gave us a hard time, but they're notorious for that. Some of them just fall in, some of them you got to beat them in.
My name is Paul Hopkins. I'm a retired carpenter. I live in Redondo Beach, California. I'm up here helping out my brother Craig with their AMD project.
Well, Popeye's the oldest guy in the room, but he likes to use a hammer, so we let him whenever he wants to.
I'm Gary Barnicky. I'm an attorney, metal fabricator, car builder, and designer. Installing the K-member in the front end has some difficulty because you're trying to install all of the components. It's a very heavy and awkward part.
So is that everything on the front end that we have to do right now?
No.
No, we have to do what?
Well, he's going to put the control arm of the spindle over here like Gary's already done on this side.
Okay.
And then the torsion bars are going to go in, and then the steering column is going to go in the car, and that's pretty much the front end of the car.
The torsion bar installation can be difficult because you're trying to clock the torsion bars. They have a six-sided flats on each end.
You know, right now we're having an issue getting the torsion bar in the car, and they register on a hex on both ends. So the torsion bar cross members are fixed, and the suspension is movable. Right now the suspension isn't down far enough to get that torsion bar into.
The rear end, again, we installed using AMD's rear end support. What that allowed us to do is to install the springs, the shackles, and the front mounts, roll the rear end into the car, attach the front mounting points first, and then just raising the rear of the springs up and hooking the shackles up.
All this grunt work does pay off when you put a cool set of wheels and tires on. And we have a cool tire and wheel package waiting.
Ted, that is an absolutely gorgeous wheel and tire package. Is that original looking?
Yep. These are reproductions of the originals, original tires and wheels from Coker Tire in Chattanooga, Tennessee. These are bias belted tires, just like what they put on the car in 1969.
Really?
When Ted unveiled the tires, they had a few more things to do to them. They had a center cap to go in. And for some reason, getting the nuts started and bringing the center cap around just was problematic.
The fact that we were working on the floor didn't help. It should have been up on a work table where we could see what we were doing. And I can make excuses all day long for why it took me and Dan a whole show to put a set of center caps on a car, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Oh, I've wasted time before on less challenging jobs. Ted's just not used to it.
You know, one thing I want to know right up front is if everybody saw that tear in Ted's eye when the car hit the ground, because I'm pretty sure he was crying. Tears of joy. That was cool. Made me feel good, really made Ted feel good.
The next step is to put the steering column in. Ted was really excited about that, got that steering wheel on, and now he could sit on the milk crate and pretend he was driving his Daytona finally after all these years.
Well, I've walked past this car out in the salvage yard for years, and there's been countless times I've thought about what could be. And it was pretty sad to look at the way it was. And as the thing started, you kind of get sucked up into the deal here, whether you want to or not. It kind of takes on a life of its own. And to be a part of it has been a real thrill. It's a pleasure to work with a crew like this.
I thought this car would have gone faster than this.
I'm wondering what the reaction will be when that car debuts, because I think we'll have all of the pictures of the car in Ted's junkyard and as it's sitting before him. There'll be controversy over the car, which I kind of like, but I think that anybody that looks at the car would have to admit that was a great feat. It's a testimony to Auto Metal Direct, the metal products that they made. If they didn't build that product, I wouldn't have a business.
This portion of Chop Cut Rebuild is presented by Wyotech. Make your passion your career. Turn pro at Wyotech.
My name is Chris Johnston. I'm a Wyotech instructor. We were putting the third tire on the van today, attempt to get the fourth one in when Dan showed up. He's usually late, so we knew we could get some work done before he got here.
Oh, wow. That wheel and tire package is amazing.
Doesn't it look good? Hey, Dan, how are you, buddy?
Yeah. Wow.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Paul.
This is Lauren, Corey, our helpers for today. They've been working hard. They got all three changed. They're on the last one.
This is amazing. This is from where?
The wheels are from Rocket Wheels.
Okay.
And the tires came from Diamondback Classics. My name is Paul Dominic, and I am the electives coordinator here at the Wyotech Blairsville campus. We were after a retro 70s look, and those really blend right into that era. But when we went down that road, we could not find a wheel that would match the bolt pattern for the new van. So we had to have wheel adapters made.
My name is Lauren Elliott. I'm from Bolivar, New York. I have taken ASM, collision and refinishing, trim and upholstery, street rod, chassis fabrication, the automotive core, and now I'm in hypo.
Once the wheels and tires are installed, focus turns to function over form. Great looks now need some great sound.
These are fake, right? There's no heat going through those.
Well, there is at the very back end. We're going to bring the exhaust in near the back. That'll do a lot of things for us. It'll still sound good, be open. Gibson had sent us a 1-in muffler with 2 outlets. So that gave us a 3-inch inlet and 2 2.5-inch outlets. That enabled us to run a pipe to each side pipe of the van.
A little louder, quieter.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, so let's put that in.
I'm Corey Lovick, and I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I've taken chassis, drivetrain, EMS1, EMS2, and now I'm here in hypo.
By putting the Gibson muffler on over the stock one, it not only gave us a little more performance, the muffler is much lower profile, fits in the van much better, gives us a nice rumble. Gibson made it so we could use Ford stock flange, slides right on. We'll just need to put an exhaust clamp on that.
So that's the original exhaust piece here that you're using?
Absolutely, we just cut it off, the correct length of where we wanted our muffler to sit.
You don't need to worry about creating a new flange here?
No, sir.
Okay, so do we need to clamp that?
We will, once we get the rest of the pipes in place. We don't want to tighten anything before we're completely together.
So we are going to do it, just not right now?
Absolutely.
So it's not a laziness thing? We'll do it later.
Okay.
All right, so what's next?
All right, since we got the muffler hanging there, now we can install the rest of the pipes.
Okay.
The one for the driver's side needs a bit of welding if you and Lauren want to handle that.
Do you know how to weld? Okay, I'm glad one of us does.
We just had to weld a section that came out of the muffler and brought it over to the side pipe. It just was an easy fit-up place to put a weld in instead of try to clamp it all together there. I did the welding today because Dan just can't weld.
I'll probably get better at it if I actually watch someone doing it.
With the new exhaust system, it was pretty much bolt-on. It was already fitted up and made sure that it would fit around the axle and the drive shaft, so it was pretty simple and quick.
After we were done with the exhaust, we went to put the back louver on the back window, along with darkening out the window. On the inside of the window, we put a black vinyl so that on the outside, when the louver was installed, you could not see through to the inside of the van.
How's it look?
I think it looks extremely mediocre, and I'm happy with that.
Extremely mediocre.
Yeah.
We had to put a two-face tape on the back side of the louvers, the whole way around the outside and across through the middles. That way it would be stuck on the window. We're looking at this for when it goes down the road at 60, 70 mile an hour. We don't want the louvers flying off.
It's the 70s.
There it is.
All that's left now is to show this classic tribute to executives from Ford, then it's off to Las Vegas.
There's nothing like being ahead of the curve with a blast from the past. The Wyotech Shagadelic van is ready for the Vegas crowds and other places beyond in Vegas.
This portion of Chop Cut Rebuild is brought to you by AMD, Auto Metal Direct. The name says it all.
The final assembly of the AMD Camaro has been pretty laid back, but there is no more tomorrow. Well, there is a tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be taking it to unveil it at its first show.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
morning.
Oh, morning, Dan.
Are you scared?
No, we're good.
Hey, Evan.
My name's Jim Beebe. I own Red Rock Off-Road Performance here in Taylor, Michigan.
Have we got everything?
No.
Oh, good.
Never have everything.
Good.
So well, we've got enough. We've got enough to get it on its wheels today, and I know the delivery trucks, they're still coming for today.
Okay.
So hopefully they'll bring a couple more packages.
But we could be wrenching in the trailer as it's going down the highway.
We could be.
Nice.
We could be.
All
It's
right.
not the first time. It won't be the last.
Well, put me to work. What do you want me to do?
All right, let's get the bearings on, and let's get working on getting the wheels on.
Okay.
We're in the last couple hours trying to get the Camaro ready to go so we can get loaded on a trailer off to the show. It's a little frustrating right now. We just wanted to have it done before it left here. But of course, we're still waiting on a couple pieces here and there. So it is what it is. We'll make do. But I would have liked to have it done when it left the door. We knew time was going to be of the essence today to get the car done. So we pulled Evan in to give us an extra set of hands.
So why are you over here doing this?
I'm working smarter, not harder.
You are?
Rim. My name is Evan Bohinski. I work at Red Rock Off-Road Performance. If you guess, because there's no markings on the back of these, because they're dual drilled.
Oh, okay.
So I'm using the rim.
So by using that, you know what the pattern is.
Yep. If we didn't try to match up bolt pattern to begin with, the bolts, well, the studs wouldn't line up with the rim at all. You couldn't bolt the tire onto it.
Pure genius.
When you put the hubs on and the bearings, you want to make sure that you grease the bearings thoroughly. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I still do it old school, where we pack them by hand. That way I know that the grease gets in all the bearing crevices inside that bearing.
Okay, I'm gonna run these down. Oh, you got the raspberry flavored ones?
Raspberry? I don't know what flavor it is, but I'm not tasting it.
Oh, really? Yeah, you don't want to know how I know.
After we put the hubs on, we got outer bearing on, tightened it up, snugged it up, made sure it was smooth rolling around, and then we could bolt on the rims and tighten those up and put the beauty rims on the rims.
Classic.
This wheel and tire package came to us from Coker Tire. Coker started back in '58 as a BFG dealer, and since then they've become the world's largest manufacturer of specialty tires and wheels for collector vehicles. They even manufacture wooden spoke wheels for pre-war vehicles. I guarantee if you get into classic cars, you'll be getting on their website.
They got shiny stuff, Dan.
Oh! Yeah. Nice.
The wheels that Coker sent us are rally wheels, meaning they have a chrome outer trim ring and a chrome center cap. The center cap and the outer trim ring need to be pounded onto the ring, or onto the wheel. They're held on by tension springs, and it takes a little bit of force to get them to bite into the wheel.
Oh, you brought a dead blow.
Yeah, just in case.
My hands are very delicate.
Yeah, we won't want to hurt your paws. And sometimes the safest way is just using a rubber mallet to get them locked on the rims correctly. The wheels and tires that they sent us are reproductions of what the tires would have been in 1969. The way they're formed, the way they're made is just completely retro.
The retro look gets even better with all four on the ground.
I'm really excited to see everyone at the show's reaction when they learn that this car has been completely built with aftermarket parts that have never gone down an assembly line. Even though we're a few pieces away from being complete, it still is a good feeling, a good sense of accomplishment that she's on her own wheels and tires. That's it, she's on the ground.
Car on its wheels.
On its wheels.
Nice.
We wanted to get the headlights finished up on the car too, seeing that we finally had all the parts for that. To put the headlight in, you obviously need the headlight, then there's a trim ring that goes around that, and then there's a trim bezel that goes around that. So making sure that you had all the pieces lined up correctly can take a minute, but once you have them locked in and everything's lined up, it goes together rather quickly. It would be really nice to have the Camaro all finished when it rolls out the door, meaning have the bumper bolted on it, but unfortunately, it's not gonna be here. We're lucked out. The guys from AMD are gonna bring it to the show with them, so it looks like we'll be bolting on the bumper at the last minute.
Work on the Camaro is going to continue until the small hours, and that's because there's a lot of small things still to be done. But that doesn't mean we can't be optimistic and start cranking towards being in Pittsburgh tomorrow morning.
On the next Chop Cut Rebuild.
Somewhere along the way, we got lost with this in the 70s. Everybody ready? Your 2016 Transit Shagadelic Cruising Van.
In this project, I worked on the center console, the rear doors, and pretty well all the trim pieces inside.
Probably the most difficult challenge getting the van here was we got a white van to convert it into a silver van and just go after it. So it's just been a challenge for 4 months, that's all I can say.
So yeah, we're down here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the World Wheel Show. An incredible event, man. I mean, there are some amazing cars here. Talking to the builders on the 69 Camaro, it was very interesting to me because that's one of those cars that they can build from the ground up. And the average Joe can go through a catalog, buy parts and pieces, and they can build this car by themselves. So the third car I saw was the van that was built by Wyotech. I think for me, one of the most impressive things is this thing has the Ford Ecotec twin turbo. So, I mean, it's pushing 320 horsepower to the wheels, which is like, it's incredible. I'm not surprised at the quality of Wyotech at all.
What happens in Vegas can happen in Pittsburgh too, on the next Chop Cut Rebuild.